Welcome back to Light Clothed. It's my great pleasure to have y'all here. I just came from doing a job. One of the roles I step into just about every day as a biz owner is as an electrician. I just finished a job out here in the great state of Georgia. But I didn't want to let the day get by without chiming in to share some thoughts, share my heart with you. Continuing on our series, You Inc. You Inc. You Incorporated. And yes, it's all about you in a good sense. The greater you are at doing you, the greater the spillage over into the collective. As I mentioned before, the greatest thing we can do for the world and each other is be an authentic self. And I know that's an ongoing journey. It's not, it doesn't mean you wake up one day and automatically you're 100% authentic to yourself, to your heart, and heeding the message that the soul is trying to convey, not trying, but is conveying to you. It tends to be a wrestling match that takes place as we go through life and begin to mature in our awareness, where heeding that call is something that we can't run from. It's like it gets louder and louder, for it is the silence that hollers. The silence that hollers is the summoning of the soul. And we can't fulfill our calling in our comfort zone. So today I wanted to talk about the greater work. You've come to do the greater work. To bear that light that you are, that we are, individually and collectively. Why greater? I would hope that each of us want to be better every day, get better, and evolve in a northward fashion. I believe in my understanding, and that what's been revealed to me, part of our greater purpose is to not just evolve, but to express and expand upon the source that's within us, that light. We are co-creators with this source. And we have come to take our part in its expression and its expansion, which is eternal. It doesn't stop. It's like the life force. It's unending. It is the Alpha and Omega. This garment, this body, this physical incarnation will fade and end at some point. But that life force that's in me, that eternal light, that immortal light, never stops. It's always pulsing. Being it formless, it will put on form, put on these garments of flesh, for the sake of its own expansion and expression. The beautiful thing is you get to do that authentically, which only you can do, being you, your unique vessel, a unique expression of this source, this light. We've come to do the greater work, so bearing that light, we co-create or or play a great part, as in like a partnership with source, with that light. As we become more aware, we begin to see a little clearer. The things you believed in or perceived to be true yesterday may not be the same today. We've all thought as a child at some point, and we are just big kids in a humorous way. Becoming more aware and self-aware of who and what we are, and beginning to heed that call, that summoning of the soul. I don't think there's no way to sidestep with the soul in which your heart is telling you. It's almost like an itch that never goes away. You can't ignore it. The foundation of that greater work is love, it's awareness, it's service, it's expressing your art, whatever that may be. I always say your heart work is your artwork. What is it that you love to do? What is it that continues to call you? What is it that you would just do for free because you find so much joy and pleasure in doing it? When you're in that activity, you're not thinking about time and space. It's almost like you went to another dimension and you just zone out. I believe that's part of doing the greater work. Because when you show up as your authentic self, we're not looking.
Next stop sign, turn right.
We're not looking for validation, and I believe that's also part of doing the greater work. because you're focused on that inner work, that heart work. And so you realize that no longer can you be caught up in what the world thinks or what somebody thinks about you. You realize that as an individual vessel of light, nobody can be you or do you as you would. Only you can do you.
Turn right onto State Route
And when
81.
we lead with our heart, we get great results. I recently upgraded my whole music production set more from the heart and what the soul was calling me to do. You know, it's like, it's just loud and clear, you know? It's like going from belief to knowing, you know, something that you enjoy, not just as a practice, but a passion, and it just lightens you up. The greater work is also seeing each other, to be able to look at each other and see that light, you know, to learn not to cast judgment. Everybody has their own experience, but we are one body in many parts. The greater work is also learning to lead with your heart and lead with love, no matter what. I'm much more mindful now of how I show up and how and the energy that I leave with people. Because I would rather leave you with positive light energy. If you never see me again, at least you'll say, wow, you know, that was a good experience. Because we all have the same needs, you know. We gotta eat, we pay bills, we suck the same air. I mean, and we're all hearing that call. Each one of us, no matter what you do as an occupation, you're being summoned by the soul. The soul is the guru. You know, that's basically what it comes down to. The soul is the guru. The soul is God in you. It's your I amness. It's your higher self. It knows. The soul doesn't believe. The conscious mind in man, the little self, tends to believe or not, tends to have faith or not. The soul is God. Your immortal self knows better. And if your immortal self is calling you to a higher calling, we got to step out of our comfort zone. But if you try to ignore it, you may you hurt yourself. I believe we've all experienced that in a form where we made mistakes, bumped our heads along the way because we didn't know any better. But awareness on a spiritual note, this is about doing the greater work. And if we can come together collectively, expressing our hard work, our artwork, seeing the light in each other, no matter what. I just wanted to chime in. You know, if you look at my older videos, a lot of my previous videos, they were faceless. You know, so this is also part of that calling that I put forth myself and just be me. You know, the voice of self-doubt, resistance, and say, man, you know, a little uncomfortable. Like, I brought the camera with me to do this. My intention when I left the house was take the camera, record a video. And of course, when I began to do it, it was like, you know, it was like, try to get me, man, but it's not gonna get me, man. But I realized I need to use that as an ally. When you get that voice to tell you can't, or don't, or, you know, you're not good enough, or you're not natural at that, or, you know, like you would look at somebody else as special and deem yourself not. Like there's something special about somebody else, which is foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't even make sense. You got to do it. Bump your head along the way. Face the fear. That's fine. This is the greatest thing you could do for yourself. Heed that summoning. That's what I'm doing. I encourage you to do it. This is my journey, and I want to share it with you. This is the greater work. When you commit and you show up and you decide to do the greater work, the universe is going to respond.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Conyers Street Southwest.
You know, the universe is not looking at how many hours you put in. It's looking at the heart, man. You committed? Because it's always committed. And it's going to commit multiplying infinity that much more and show up in ways that you wouldn't even imagine. I believe that. I've seen it. I know it to be true. The universe winks back at you in amazing ways. So we're here to do the greater work. Let us do it together. That's really the point I wanted to get across. You know, I veered off here and there, you know, but that's fine. Let's do the greater work together. Hit the like, subscribe to the light, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.